Hey everybody, doing a little thing called Quarantine Kitchen. My wife's been telling me I should do this for a little while. Figured everyone's probably bored as shit, so we'll go ahead and give it a try. So, what I'm going to put together for you today, it's pretty easy. It's Fat Guy's Delight. It's a slow cooker Salisbury steak. Goes together pretty quick. If you can't read that fast, then you're shit out of luck. I'm not going to post it, but it's on all recipes. Pretty easy to find. So, first thing you're going to need, 2 pounds of ground meat. Just your standard variety ground meat. Nothing fancy. We don't do Whole Foods or any of that stuff here, so just your regular old Fat Guy 80-20 will do the trick. You're going to mix together that with an onion soup mix, packet, breadcrumbs, and some milk. It says do it by hand, but we try to touch that stuff as little as possible because it's pretty disgusting. We'll just use our hands to form the patties. One envelope of the onion soup, and then a half cup of Italian breadcrumbs. And dump those in. I do know how to count. This is just a quarter cup, so 2 of them is a half. A little math lesson for everybody, a little bonus material. So, and then everyone knows what a gallon of milk looks like, so this is just what it looks like in the measuring cup. Dump that in. We'll just mix that together. All right, everything's mixed. Using our handy dandy mixer. You could probably use a hand mixer if you want. I don't know how well that would work. I've never done it that way. Just a little stand mixer seems to do the trick, or old fashioned. So just go ahead and get all the meat off the paddle there. And then what it wants you to do is go ahead and form this into 8 patties. So I've done it before where I got a scale out and literally measured everything and done 8 patties, but we're just going to go ahead and dive in here today and just form them just how you would just a standard hamburger. So, like I said, it's a Salisbury steak. It sounds fancy because it says steak. It looks like a hamburger, and then it's going to be smothered in a gravy. So it's a little high class, mostly low class, but it makes you feel good about yourself. All right, so we have all our patties shaped. We'll call them uniform. Sounds better that way, but it sounds the same. So, like I said, just like a hamburger. Instead of throwing them on the grill, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get your favorite cast iron pan. If you don't have a cast iron pan, buy a cast iron pan. That's how real people cook. But if you don't, I guess you could use a stainless steel one. I don't know. I don't use that stuff, but this is just what I found. Works best for life. So go ahead. Turn your burner on. Nice little medium high. As you can probably see here, I broke a couple knobs, never replaced them. We got them over here. They're really optional. So, get a little heat going on that. The recipe, if you look it up, it's going to say vegetable oil. But I don't have a fancy glass bottle for vegetable oil. I have extra virgin olive oil, or for anyone who's ever watched Rachel Ray, this is just EVOO. And you just use it however you want. Just little, oh yeah, that looks good. So, we're just going to do that. Get a nice little pile of that in there. Now what you're going to do, you're going to get a mixing bowl or a plate or however you want to do it. And a quarter cup of flour. We're going to put that in here. Doesn't really have to be too accurate because all you're doing is taking your patties and you are going to put them in there. Just get a little dredging of flour on there. And you're going to go ahead and place them in your oil. So once that gets hot, they're going to start to sizzle. It's going to sound nice. You're going to sound real professional like in that kitchen. And they're going to cook for 5 minutes on each side. I'm going to double check that. We're just going to make sure they're browned on the outside. And then the magical part's coming up next where you put everything in the crock pot and it just takes common meat that looks like a hamburger and makes it a delicious steak. All right, you hear that? Hear that sizzle? That means it's perfect. So what we're going to do is 4 or 5 minutes was probably a little strong. They really just need to be browned. So grab your favorite grabber, as I call them. And then, see that right there? Just a little brown, still pink. We're not cooking them through here. We're just getting them browned on the outside so they stay together when we put them in the star of the show, our crock pot. You know, the crock pot is really the one who's going to pull you through the quarantine. And, you know, once quarantine's over, it's just smart to use. So, KitchenAid mixer here, he was a good little buddy. He's a great leadoff hitter. We're done with him. We're going to get him out of the way. This right here, just your standard crock pot. You know, you can use a little one. You can cut this recipe in half if you're a lonely quarantiner. I wish I was a lonely quarantiner, but I got 3 kids. So we pretty much do everything in a big crock pot. You know, just a nice crocker that's going to give you a high, a low, and a warm. It's really all you need. Nothing special here. No bells and whistles. We're going to let these brown on the other side. And then for you mathematicians out there, you know there's only 4 in there. So we have 4 more to go. And then we're going to show you the fun part. We get to build a meat pyramid in the crock pot. Oh, exciting stuff. All right, so we have our last 4 in Casti here. All good pots I've been in. Like I said, the fun part now is we're going to make a meat pyramid. It says pyramid specifically in the directions, so I assume if you just throw them in there like a schlup, then it won't work. The magic won't happen. It won't turn your delicious hamburger-shaped patty into a steak. It's just science. So we have our first 4, and then, you know, just like the Egyptians here, we're just going to place them in here. We're just going to work around, get a nice sturdy base in there. So just get them in there, have a little space. And then you're literally just going to come behind with your last 4. We're just finishing up brown on the backside on those, and we're just going to stagger them around. And then we're going to make what I like to call the magic sauce that really pulls this all together and turns your crock pot really into the star of the show. So go ahead and turn the heat off of these bad boys. We'll just start staggering in here. Okay, I'm going to stagger. I don't know if you guys can hear that sizzle, but like I said, that's how you really know that everything is going to be okay. So here we are, little pyramid, you know, little meat tut in there. It's going to be great. So we're going to put this back in the base. And what we're going to do now is, you know, if you like to do dishes, go ahead. Get another pot or a pan or a bowl, whatever you want. All I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this flour out that we dredged in. Just give it a little swoosh. We're going to bring it back here, and we're going to mix in our 2 last ingredients with a little bit of water. Same bowl, just rinsed out. Don't even worry about drying it because the one ingredient we're putting in there is water. So a little extra water is not going to hurt anything. So what we're going to take next is cream of chicken condensed soup. Looks disgusting on its own. You're supposed to use 2 of them. I don't like things too creamy, so we're just using 1. Do whatever you want. Use 2. You want to be crazy, do 3. And then an au jus packet. So, you know, just your standard McCormick. You know, for those of you who don't cook a lot, you'll get to know McCormick. They really take anything that's average and disgusting and make it great. So, like I said, looks gross, right? But it really does taste delicious. So, and I'm like the pickiest eater in the whole entire world with the blandest palate you have ever seen. And I seem to manage. So, since we're only using 1 can, we're going to go ahead and get the scraper in there and just get every last bit of goodness because we're already skimping on the can. You know, don't want it too creamy, and let's be honest, these things probably cost $1, so we're trying to keep it low with the quarantine. Au jus packet, pretty standard stuff here. Rip it open, dump it in. If you remember the onion soup mix, same thing. Just rip it and dump it. And then 3/4 cup of water. I used a little bit more because, again, we're cheating on the cream of chicken, so a little bit extra liquid for the crock pot just really helps everything. Dump that in. Get a whisk or use your scraper. Again, like I said, the amount of effort you want to put into dishes is all up to you. So you really, when you're mixing it together, all you're really looking for is that all the au jus powder is dissolved. Mix, mix, mix. Good enough. Look at that, huh? Really takes that cream of chicken and makes it look like something edible. We're just going to come back over to the crock pot, and we're just going to dump it onto that delicious pyramid we made. Oh man, I wish you guys could see how awesome this looks as it cascades down all the patties. Man, it's like one of them fancy weddings that has a chocolate fountain, except it's just a stream of au jus turning these regular patties into steaks. The juice and thyme is what really does the trick for you here. So look at that. Does actually have a couple chunks of chicken in there. Never saw that before. Looks kind of gross. We're gonna pretend we didn't see it and just keep cooking it. So, bam. Okay. Then literally, last thing you're doing, putting that in there. This is the tricky part. You ready? Taking the lid. Gotta put it on top. Okay. Put it on there. Put that sucker on high, and then you're just gonna make yourself a drink. You're gonna sit down. You're gonna not tell the kids who you sent to the basement to do this that you're done. You're gonna make a cocktail. You're gonna wait 4 hours. Then you're ready to roll. You can make potatoes with these. You can make rice with these. If you're feeling a little hippie, you can do like a cauliflower rice. Just make like a corn or a peas or green beans or something with it. Again, I'm the most basic pouted human being when it comes to food. And you can have that gravy. So you can mix that gravy on the rice or the cauliflower rice or the potatoes and just make one big Salisbury steak mash in there. And you're going to be so happy. And you're going to have a little buzz on by the time you eat because you have 4 hours to drink now. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Hey guys, so it's been 4 hours, so I'm guessing our Salisbury steaks are ready, so hope you guys have enjoyed a cocktail, because I have. This is a fancy glass too, by the way. Nothing but the best, when you're quarantined. Take the lid off, put all that steam. Wish you guys could smell this. This is really great stuff. Let me grab a plate here. Go ahead and grab us a steak now. It's no longer a patty. The transformation has been made. It is officially a steak. The nice thing about this now is it's going to have all that delicious au jus that we made. So get a little ladle in there. Get yourself a little extra gravy. What's in there? I went ahead and made some mashed potatoes and corn because that's what the kids like. So a little bit of mashed potatoes on there. A little bit of corn, and then you can add gravy, more gravy, less gravy, however you would like. But there you have it right there. That's a delicious meal if I've ever seen one right there. And it's probably going to be really hot, but I'll do it for you guys. I'll most likely burn my face off for you to try this. Look at that. Perfectly cooked, all that steam. Man, I wish you guys could smell this, but you'll understand once you make it how satisfying this part is right here. So, silky smooth. Didn't even need a knife. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to dish out some more plates, make a couple more cocktails, and enjoy this quarantine. And let me know if you guys want to see anything else like this. Got nothing but time on my hands, even though I am considered essential at work, whatever that means. But we'll put some more stuff out if you guys want to see it. Just let me know. And you guys have a great day. Thank you.